guys. How's everybody doing?
Let's give them a minute to get in. What's going on Instagram, Facebook? How's everybody doing? Let me adjust this camera just a little bit. There we go. How's everybody's year been going so far? We had, it's February, and so we're back with our February edition of Health Talk with the Mott.
Yes.
And so this time we're talking about hormones.
Yes,
right?
yes. I thought how fitting we talk about male and female hormones today.
That's
right?
how I get rid of the comments. Sorry guys, I always swipe the comments away just because it's distracting when I'm trying to pay attention.
But we do want to know where you're joining us from, who's all on. If you're watching the replay, hit replay when you come back and watch it again. And then also if you have questions, we'd love to answer any questions. If we don't get to the questions live, we will come back and answer the questions as well. But this is a very, very important subject. So for me, I know it hit home very closely because it was something that I struggled with and didn't realize it was connected to a lot of the issues that I was having when it came to even trying to conceive, and when it came to, like many people know my story, with my son, I was on bed rest for 5 months. And even before we got married, I was having a lot of hormonal issues and things going on, but I just did not know. So I'm excited to share this information with others, and hopefully it can help people. So again, share, like, comment, so we can build awareness around this subject, hormones, because they are connected to so many things.
And I'll chime in really quickly because even as a man, as a guy, sometimes we think that hormones just affect women, and that's not the case. Men, we have hormones too. They're a natural part of the body. And they affect us in some similar ways to women, but they affect us differently. So there are certain things that women might do to manage their hormones that men have to pay attention to things a little bit differently. So I will chime in a little bit on that this evening. But let's start with general. So for those who don't know, I mean, your hormones play a very important role in your body's function. They help with our mental wellness, our physical wellness, our emotional wellness. So like a large part of how we respond and how we act and how we go throughout our day is because of our hormones. So I know for me, it didn't become a little bit more on my radar until probably within the past 5 or 6 years. Even some of the changes that I've gone through personally and how they've affected me mostly emotionally. And that's an interesting thing to give attention to. Some physical as well, but I do want to talk about some of the, how do I phrase it? Some of the effects that like having a hormone imbalance can have on the body, and then what we can do to combat that. Okay.
And I do think that's important even from a male perspective when you talk about emotions. Because that's something that a lot of times it's hard for guys to realize or put words to, like, oh, this is happening because emotionally I'm blocked, or emotionally I can't quite pinpoint exactly how to define it. So I do think that's important to have that candid, open conversation as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And also realize that your hormones, they're kind of particular, so like your body is set up and designed to produce a certain amount of hormones so that your body can function and feel good all the time. Like the norm should be to feel good. Unfortunately, we live in a society where because especially here in America, our lifestyle is very fast paced and hectic and busy and stressful. That just has a negative effect on the body. So we have to do what we can to combat that. So you want to briefly talk about some signs? How does a person know maybe that their hormones might be out of balance?
Okay, so first I'll just kind of describe and explain, and I said this in my post too. So hormonal imbalances occur when there's too much or too little of a hormone in the bloodstream. Because of their essential role in the body, even small hormonal imbalances can cause side effects throughout the body. Okay, so hormones are important for regulating most major bodily processes. So some things to kind of keep in mind is it's going to affect metabolism and appetite. So that could be a sign, right? If you're like, oh my goodness, I'm struggling to manage my weight. Oh my goodness, I am always hungry. Like all I do is snack all day. And
Snack.
And this is something different than like your normal pattern, right? So let's say, you know, you're like, well, 5 years ago, I wasn't eating like this and I'm just gaining weight. What is going on? That could be a telltale sign that there's something going on with your hormones or something off. Things like your heart rate. You might notice that now it's like it's going up and down and it could be also connected to some stress things that are going on. But the reality is when we think about some of like our stress hormones, like, or we think of like our adrenal glands, right? So that fight or flight, if we are stressed out all the time and it's up here, what happens then is it stops responding because it's like, well, this chick is always on flight
10.
Right? So
always on 10.
Now I don't know what to do, and so I'm just not gonna work at all, and she's just gonna be tired all the time. Just tired. Like, just stay tired. Right? So that can affect your sleep cycles. Maybe you're one that suffers with being able to go to sleep or maybe stay asleep. Your sleep cycles might be off. That could be a huge sign that there's something going on with your hormones. Reproductive cycles and sexual function.
So your libido.
You not functioning right.
Yeah.
General growth and development, mood and stress levels, body temperature. And I will just quickly talk about the mood and stress levels.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to talk about body temperature. Are you getting there too?
I'll get there next.
Okay, go ahead.
But, okay, so mood and stress levels, for me, this is like a huge sign that I'm like, something going on with my hormones. Because I will notice, like, it'll be the littlest things that my kids do. And mind you, I'm with my kids pretty much 24/7, right? And they'll do, like, the littlest things, like, Mommy, can you make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And I'm like, I've been making sandwiches all day. It's like
the dragon just comes
right. It's
Ain't
like,
nobody eating in this house.
Right.
Okay, we didn't ate today. Nobody else needs to eat.
I'm like, wait, where did that? And I even have to check myself. Like, I just had a super crazy moment. Like, who was that? What just happened?
Hormones, man.
So it could be a telltale sign that, hey, baby, either you coming on your cycle or there's something going on that you need to address and take care of.
See, I was going to draw attention to temperature because, like, circulation also is linked to that as well. And so, like, you're always complaining, like, your hands are always cold, your feet are always cold.
Yes.
And you're generally, like besides, like, being in Michigan cold, you know, you're generally a cold person. So
well, no, I'm usually hot though, but
that too. I mean,
but it's weird. It's the weirdest thing because you'll touch my hands and they're freezing, and you're like, "What is going on?" And I'm like, "Oh no, my body's hot. Like I'm actually taking this coat off." You know what I mean? And it's like just really, really weird. So yeah, that is true with the body temperature and regulation.
Absolutely. So I mean, those are some telltale signs, and once again, the information that we give is pretty general and basic. I mean, obviously, if you notice something going on with your body, consult your physician, have them run tests, do things of that. But it's just, we like to encourage people to just take notice. Like when you know when something is off. Like you know when you don't feel like yourself. Like I can attest to, like, even myself, some of the biggest things with me is like fatigue. I don't have a problem sleeping at all. For years I did. But now I sleep a whole lot better. But fatigue is really, really huge for me in emotions, especially this time of year. We did a health talk with the Mott where we talked about SAD, seasonal affective disorder, because here in Michigan, like, we have not been getting.
And if you haven't checked that one out, check the YouTube.
Yeah.
That's uploaded up there.
Click and subscribe. But we just have not been getting enough sun. Yeah. You know, so like, your body not getting enough vitamins and minerals, and then if your hormones are out of whack, it's a bad combination, almost for the perfect storm. So you have to start to think, well, number one, get checked out. Number two, what are some things that I can control that may be disrupting my hormones.
And these are things that you can very, very specifically get tested by your doctor, right? Like say, look, I think there's something going on with my hormones. Like they can legit test everything and figure out and pinpoint exactly what your levels are, and you can really kind of go from there and know exactly how you want to manage and treat things.
So really briefly, I guess I kind of want to transition over because it's my turn. I want to talk about the men.
Okay, let's talk about the men.
So we mentioned some of the signs that maybe there's a hormonal imbalance. Energy levels is huge for men. Libido, especially as we start to get older. Appetite is a big one as well. So once if you notice that those things are occurring, like some of the recommendations I can make is number one, like get tested for your testosterone levels. Men have testosterone.
Testosterone.
I'm thinking of a brand or something else. Men have testosterone and they have estrogen as well. We just have way lower levels of estrogen than women do. But if your testosterone levels are low, that could very well be a reason why your energy and other issues might be occurring. So I don't like to say do one thing and that will change the way that will change your testosterone levels and change the way that you feel. I mean, sometimes it's a combination of things. But look at your diet. We talk about these three main things quite often, but I mean, a lot of even what's going on with your body and your hormones is linked to your diet too. I know that for me, one thing I've noticed, like, I need more protein than I used to. And not getting enough protein to some extent, and it doesn't always have to come from meat. I mean, people make their dietary choices, but not getting enough protein, it can disrupt your hormone levels. So that's certainly something to look at. And then we talk about exercise a lot. Like, even if you don't feel like exercising, exercise is still very important. And get up, walk, do something.
Just like that.
Do something. Get the body active so that it's propelling and pushing yourself. I know also make sure you're drinking plenty of water, plenty of fluids. Make sure you get sunlight is big. But I know for me personally, one thing I can attest to, like for those who know me personally, I stress very, very easily, even though it may not appear that way. And that can severely affect your hormones as well. Like like the body is designed for flight or flight. Did I say it right? Did I say flight or flight or fight or flight? So the body is designed for flight or fight in certain circumstances and situations, but it's not designed to sustain that all the time. So if you have situations that are causing massive amount of stress on the body, maybe look at changing some of those situations. Look at those stressors, or find ways to help yourself relax. Yes. Exercise is one of them. Reading, sometimes deep breathing is another.
Breathing is really, that's actually something that lately I've been really like honing in on. But breathing techniques, just kind of releasing some of that. There's something even about when you lower, because a lot of us, we are tight all the time, and releasing some of that tension and relaxing. Deep breathing can really help that posture and getting things flowing again.
Yeah. And the other one is sleep. I know some people, they struggle to fall asleep, but get as much sleep as you can. I recommend at least 6 hours. I know they say more than that, but at the very least, if you can get 6 hours, and that's for somebody who's like about my age, we're in our early 30s. Try to get as much quality sleep as possible. Some of the other things that I do is I do also take supplements, because there's simply not enough nutrition in the foods that we're eating nowadays. So some of the supplements that I take also, well, this one's yours. So Dana takes Cortisol by Young Living, which is very, very good for helping to manage your hormones and balance out your hormones, especially when it comes to dealing with feeling tense and tight and stressed.
And then when we think about that too, so we know that our cortisol, when it's time to wake up and be alert and do things, right, that goes active, right? And then when it's time to go to sleep and mellow down, that's when we get the melatonin, right? So those are different chemicals within our body that are regulated. And when they're regulated and moving properly, it's nice because they're able to get you up when you need to get up and you go to sleep when you're supposed to go to sleep, right? But if for some reason your cortisol levels are too high, too long, unfortunately that can be extremely damaging to your system. They actually call cortisol the death hormone, right? So if you don't manage that and balance that out, it can be very, very dangerous. So some of the ingredients and things that I absolutely love in Cortistop is like the black cohosh. If you're not familiar with that, look at some of the amazing benefits of black cohosh. Also, it has a DHEA derived from wild yams, clary sage, fennel, peppermint, frankincense. So again, look up all of the benefits of some of those ingredients, the amazing things that it does in the body. It's especially, I find as a woman, amazing, but it can benefit anybody. So even I feel like if you are at a place where, again, you just can't turn off, Cortistop might be something that you want to try for a bit and then come off of.
And it'll tell you, slow down.
Yeah.
You're doing too much. Slow down. So that one's good. I know for men, like anybody who's ever seen some of the videos I've done in the past, I always talk about this. But the other supplement I take is Powergize by Young Living as well. Ashwagandha. I mean, they've got long jack root powder is in there, which is very, very good for helping to support the male reproductive system. You've got goldenrod in there. I absolutely love this product. It was actually designed with men in mind, so a lot of what's in here is designed to help the male hormonal system and balance that out so that it's healthy. And when you look at, I think we've talked about this before, when you look at all the benefits or all the things that testosterone does for a man, like that should be like what you're trying to sustain and take care of as much as possible. So I love that one. We're big into oils. Two of my favorite essential oils is because I am a high stress individual. One of the ones that I love is called Stress Away. Which I'm like, I can't leave the house without. I also have different nicknames for them. Don't beat your kids right now. It's not their time. Don't cuss that person out in traffic. Not saying I do these things. I'm just saying it's a different name for them. But also, Mister is a great oil. It's a blend, essential oil that Young Living has that was designed with men in mind to help balance out healthy hormone levels as well. So that's kind of like my regime, like to balance it out. Like I do this every single day.
Yes. And so I would say step one, identify if you have issues, right? Look at some of those symptoms and causes and identify, hey, it probably is a hormonal problem, right? Step two, verify with either maybe a doctor or some type of testing to, again, verify your assumptions that it might be that. And then you know where to go from there, right? Then you know how to handle it and balance it back out. So then you know, okay, let's start with some maybe working in instead of working out. We've talked a little bit about that before, so it might not be something that you're doing heavy moving, but it might be something that you can do that works within your body. And once you can identify that, then it'll be easy to know how to go from there. So I did have a few that I wanted to talk about that for me as a woman that are used daily almost. So like Progestins Plus. Love Progestins Plus. Oh, it would help if I had the front of the bottle there. Y'all got the point, right? So Progestins Plus, love this. I put a dab on the back of my neck or in my inner arm. Progestins Plus, I use this pretty much every single day. So again, when I was struggling and having certain issues, like it had got so bad that like right before we got married, I actually had to get estrogen shots, right? So like I felt like in the Bible, the lady that had the flow that like lasted forever, like I was experiencing things like that because again, I had really bad hormonal imbalances. So balancing some of those things out. We have progesterone and we have estrogen, but we want them at healthy levels, right? We don't want too much of either or. And there's a lot of things even around your home that could be affecting that. So we talk a lot about a toxic-free home and a toxic-free living, because there's tons and tons of endocrine disruptors that might just be lurking in your house. Whether it's household products, whether it's makeup, whether it's cleaning products, skincare products for women. So first and foremost, get rid of those. Avoid those because they could be messing with your hormones. Another one that I just absolutely love, present time. So this is a great one again, because if some of your hormonal imbalances are connected to stress levels, and maybe you're an anxious person and you're constantly thinking about tomorrow and yesterday and what I should have been, couldn't have been, didn't have. Present time. Stay today. Only today matters, right? You can't change what you did yesterday, and you can only prepare for tomorrow, but you can't foresee tomorrow, right? So what you do today is what's going to matter tomorrow, right? It's always going to be tomorrow. So that's another one. And then geranium. So geranium actually was one of my first introductions to oils long before even I knew about Young Living. So when I was going through puberty, I was having certain issues when it came to my hormones. And geranium was one that we really helped to kind of balance some of those things out. So love geranium and some of the many benefits that has. Also sclerescence. So sclerescence is another one. This is the Sclerescence Vitality. So I make a tea out of this. This one is one that I more so use that time of the month to help balance all those things out. And I'm telling you, my kids will be like, Mommy, did you take your oils?
Can we come out and eat now?
right. So again, find what the root cause is, figure out how you can balance those things out, and where to treat and go from there, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, sometimes it's making small changes. I mean, like a lot of the information that we've gathered over the years and a lot of the things that we've tried to implement and change have been gradual. So, I mean, even if it's like maybe you're not in a position right now to be able to get more sleep than what you're getting, maybe look at changing your diet. Every little bit helps. So that's the information we had. I mean, hopefully you guys found that of value. I've been checking the chat on my tablet just to see if there were questions along the way. You know it's bad when the kids want to help you out.
Right.
That is funny.
But yeah, I would love though to hear from my ladies, hear from my guys. What kind of things do you do to balance your hormones, or what have you tried? What are you looking forward to trying? Some other things I just wanted to mention right now. Did you bring down Sensation?
Oh shoot, I did not.
Oh, so Sensation oil is an amazing blend. Great for couples. We love
balancing energies for couples.
Yes. So they have something that is going to help draw the woman and something to help draw the man, right? So then you can unitedly be on the same page, because that's important too. There's also a Sensation massage oil blend, which is awesome as well. Because again, if one person hormonally is here and one is here, we got to come like that, right? So we want to meet in the middle. So setting the mood, setting the frame of things. That's why diffusing is so important, right? Do you have a diffuser in your bedroom? Again, putting some of those aromas that are going to help to balance those hormones. It's going to help to set a common mood for the two of you guys. Slow down some of those mental blocks that might be happening, and really talk openly about some of those things with your significant other. I think it's so important.
Absolutely.
And we know Rose is on sale right now. So that is the highest frequency. So when we're vibrating at high frequencies, it does amazing things in the body. Amazing connection between each other as well. So check those things out. If you are not using your oils, use them more. Be
regularly.
Be intentional of how you use them and using your supplements and stuff. But again, let us know where you're from and let us know what you're doing to kind of balance yourself out, what your regime is, because we'd love to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, guys, thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you guys on the next Health Talk. Look forward to more content being available on our YouTube channel as we're constantly uploading things there. There's a new podcast that is out wherever you can find podcasts, pretty much everywhere. We're on Spotify, iTunes, CastBox. And yeah, feel free to chime in. Let us know if there's a topic that you guys would like us to expound upon. And
yep, and the biggest thing for us is like, share, and review. That is how we get in front of more people, right? So by you sharing, by you commenting, that is going to help to build our community.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate everybody. Thanks, guys.
All right, everyone have a good night.
Bye.
See you guys on the next one. Peace.